So if you guys remember, I did a video on a company called Games4Diversity, which is a company that is known to be working with Sweet Baby Inc. And they push some absolutely insane things onto people and especially children. For example, they made a children-friendly, and by friendly, I mean that in the very slightest way of friendly, children-friendly game around drag queens for kids. And it's a very interesting company overall that clearly doesn't want people talking about them because apparently Games4Diversity is now trying to silence the YouTubers that actually ended up exposing them in the first place for not only existing, obviously, and also having connections to Sweet Baby Inc.
We were instead found by kind of, 4chan and the worst people on Twitter. And looking back, there is a funny element to it where I go like, people were kind of talking like, I've discovered a secret Canadian company. Like, these are the guys who did it. And the discovery that they had made was actually like our public-facing website that we advertise our services on and which you can go to right now if you'd like to collaborate with us or just learn more. It's
So let's get into this article, guys, from That Part Plays. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So we got Games4Diversity, a Dutch gaming firm that helped push a game about a magical drag performer saving beefy men in their underwear to children, is attempting to silence the Gothic Therapy YouTube channel. This happened after its host, Master the TDS, and Riding Raven exposed the company's ties to Sweet Baby Inc. and the Powwow Group. Now, again, guys, if you haven't checked out Gothic Therapy, go check it out on their YouTube channel. I'll leave a link to their channel in the description box below. They're awesome people, do a great job of doing all of this deep dive research. And, they did a lot of research in X and Twitter bots and everything. And now they're doing it with Sweet Baby Inc. And they're finding some insane stuff. In a video released 2 weeks ago, the husband and wife YouTube duo shone a light on Games4Diversity and its agenda. The company connects developers with gamers to create DEI-centric games that push very specific narratives pertaining to gender, pride values, immigration, and more. So basically, it's a company that focuses, look at this stuff. It's a company that focuses on leftist ideology, more so the hardcore leftist ideology, and decides to want to make it for children's games. It's a very weird company, and I'm not surprised Sweet Baby Inc. has a tie to it. If you really deep dive and you go into the history of Sweet Baby Inc. as we have done over the last year, you're going to realize that Sweet Baby Inc. has an insane level of ties to a multitude of different companies from all over the world. It's actually pretty insane. I know it sounds grander when you say it, but I really do genuinely mean that their ties are everywhere. They have ties to people in Canada, companies in Canada. They got ties to companies in the United States of America. They clearly got Dutch ties. They got all kinds of ties. It's crazy. Then it says the channel was sent an official notice from YouTube, which states that Games4Diversity had cited privacy concerns in the complaint. Yes, a public company is citing privacy concerns for a YouTuber simply talking about this company. That is absolutely insane. And it is a clear, ridiculous abuse of power, or at least that's what they're going to try to do anyway, right? Filing a privacy complaint, I don't really think does anything necessarily to the video. I think you have to showcase information of some kind to YouTube and then they make a decision from there. But yes, a privacy complaint from a public company to a YouTuber. It's insane. Of course, the video and content Gothic Therapy shared was all publicly available information. Exactly. So it's unclear how any of it was a violation of privacy. It's not. It's not. None of this is a violation of privacy. They just know that they're going to try to do this to try to, bully a YouTuber. That's really what it is. It's a company trying to bully a YouTuber because they're mad that they're deep diving into their company and talking about all information that's publicly available about the company. There is nothing wrong with that, and you can't do a goddamn thing about it, quite frankly. This appeared to be nothing more than an attempt to silence the growing YouTube channel and cast a shadow of obscurity once more over the Dutch firm and its actions. It appears that individuals associated with Games4Diversity have filed a privacy complaint with YouTube regarding both our video and live stream that discuss their activities. Master the TVS said on X, all information shared in our content was publicly accessible. If further action is taken against us, we are prepared to contest it. Publicly available information does not violate privacy rights. If such information is displayed on your website, any resulting issues are your responsibility. Damn, that's base. That's a base response, gotta admit. It's very clear, man. These people love working in the shadows. And you know what? We're not even just saying that, because Kim Belair has openly admitted in multiple different interviews and multiple different conferences that she's been at that they prefer to work in the shadows. They prefer that people don't know they exist. And the reason why is because they push some nonsense like this in video games and then want to complain when people call them out on it. They push this stuff and then want to get mad when people say, oh, look, Sweet Baby Inc. ruins games. They know what they do. And then they try to sit there and say, well, you don't know what we do. Well, you clearly know what you do because you're getting angry over it because we're talking about what we think you do. So if we don't know what you actually do, then why don't you come out and tell people what you do and showcase it? But obviously you're not going to do that because that's going to go against company policy. That's going to hurt you in the long run, and you don't want to do that. And ultimately, you know, and I know, and everybody watching this video knows that the mainstream gaming industry, the AAA scene, 100% is a circle jerk. They all protect each other between the journalists, the consultancy firms, and the actual studios. They all circle jerk each other. So they know that they're going to be forced to hire Sweet Baby Inc. no matter what, or companies like them. And Sweet Baby Inc. knows that they've basically got their way in a long time ago, and now they are required reading instead of optional. That's how I look at it anyway. And then on top of that too, the journalists are going to run damage control for both the studio and the consultancy firms, which we've seen that happen already. So it's one massive circle jerk that they all know that they control, and they hate that people on the outside are exposing what they do on the inside. That's just basically what it is. Then they were also attacked by drag performer Amanda Sparks. Oh, that's got to be good. Look at this. Those sick Americans who made a video denouncing my game made another one, and this time I'm not even going to engage because they're too crazy. Imagine some drag person trying to tell you that you're the crazy one. Yeah, clearly. But after the social media attacks, Gothic Therapy looked further into Games4Diversity and made another connection between the troublesome Dutch firm and Kim Belair's Sweet Baby Inc. Alain Emojis, board member of the Games4Diversity, is also a lead producer for the Powwow Group. So it turns out the DEI narrative consultancy world is a lot smaller than most people think it is. Thanks to Master the TDS and Writing Raven, we can all see more clearly than ever. These attempts to silence them and darken the spotlight being shown on the industry just shows that they and the other prominent YouTube channels are pressing against a very raw and newly exposed nerve. And you know what? If anybody thought that the consultancy circle was very small, let it be known that's not the case at all, okay? It's very clear. The connections run very deep. I remember when I was initially talking about the consultancy firms and finding out just how many of them are in Canada, and then finding out just how many of them are tied together to the same smaller company, right? And then on top of that, finding out how many of them actually are governmentally funded by the Canadian government. I mean, the rabbit hole just goes so deep. It's absolutely insane, and it would shock you just how many are all tied together. They are all funded by the same exact group for the most part, and they're all pushing this same exact nonsense. It's almost like a virus that is replicated and is trying to go through the system and spread out to as many places as it possibly can in the hopes to take over the host. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.